Do they have childcare at Disney? They do have childcare. So Disney has places where you can take older children and to do things and like leave them. And then if for your little ones, they have a babysitting company service that they use that is completely 100% checked out and Disney approved. And they will give you the number, and these babysitters will come to your room and watch your children for you. So there is that option if you want that. They also have pet care. Disney has a state-of-the-art, really neat pet care center. It is a place you could drop your pet off. It's a very fun, neat facility. And you know, being Disney, they're gonna treat your pets really awesome. Then the best times to go. So I would definitely say the best times to go are the off season. If you can arrange it with school, go in the off season. My absolute favorite time to go is the time from after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is very busy. After Thanksgiving, but before Christmas. The parks are magical. The weather is wonderful. The parks are decorated for Christmas. There's just this festive air around you. Awesome weather, very non-crowded, great prices. That's my favorite time to go. Absolute favorite time to go. My second favorite time to go is in fall after school starts. If you go in late September, it's still pretty hot, but not as bad as the summer, but there's low crowds, good deals on the hotel. It's the same thing around Halloween. Actual Halloween may get a little crowded, but in general, if you go anywhere from late September through early November, the parks aren't that crowded. The weather's changing. It's nicer. It's still hot, but it's nicer. So those are good times to go. If you can manage to go when it is school time, if your kids are homeschooled or you can take them out, that's the best time to go. I hate to say it, but it is. They're really fun to go in the off season. That's my favorite time to go. If you're gonna go and you can't, you really want to go to Disney, you can only go during busy times of the year. Just remember when you go to, it's kind of like being with your children. It's like the children advice I gave. Go, know that it's gonna be crowded. Don't let the line stress you out. Don't let the wait time stress you out. Just go, relax, play games while you're in line, and don't let that ruin your trip, and you'll still have a good time. I think a lot of people get stressed in those situations. So either one, don't go when it's that time of year because you're just asking for it, or two, find ways to deal with that if you really want to go and you think it's worth dealing with that. You can still have fun even when it's really crowded. Just relax and keep in mind that it's going to be crowded. You're going to be sharing the park with a lot of other happy people, but if that you're cool and they're all cool and you go with a good attitude, you'll still have fun. It's not going to ruin the trip for you. Okay guys, so change the day right now, but anyway, back to what I was going to say is that the other thing I get asked a lot about is, what about the other parks? So there are lots of other theme parks besides Disney World in that Orlando area. You've got SeaWorld and Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios, even Legoland is there. There are a lot of really other, neat other parks there. So it's kind of like, is it worth it to do it all in one trip? Should you do a separate trip? Like, how should that go? And once again, it kind of comes down to the kind of vacation that you want. I will say that Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios are very neat. They're very unique parks. They're kind of the type of thing like you almost don't want to miss them. So I would say that if you could find 2 days of your trip to like go to those parks, one on each day, that would be awesome. However, that being said, Islands of Adventure and Universal are a little less kid friendly. They do have, obviously they have kid areas and everything like that, but I was talking about how at Disney World 40 is like the magic number. At Universal, it's kind of higher. There's even more rides that they won't be able to ride until they're taller. So keep that in mind, before you go. I know for us, we made the kind of hard choice we usually do go. When we go to Disney, we usually take 2 extra days and go to there as well. We usually skip the other parks because they just don't interest us that much. And where we live, we have a SeaWorld nearby. So SeaWorld there isn't worth it for us to go. If you don't, you would probably want to maybe check it out. It's a pretty cool park. So but this time we decided to not go just because there was a lot that we weren't going to be able to do and we didn't think it was necessarily worth the money. However, that being said, if we had decided to go, I still think there's some really neat stuff for kids there. They have a whole Dr. Seuss land area, and there's some cool stuff there. So once again, it comes down to the type of vacation that you want, and how much time you want to spend at Disney World and how much time you don't mind spending there. If you've never been before, you may want to just go to Disney because there is so much to do. You may also, though, decide, I've never been, I still do want to go to Universal. Ideally, for me, I think the best thing to do is if you are able to take a longer vacation, I would spend the bulk of your time at Disney World and then set aside a couple of days to maybe do something else that interests you. And you know, keep in mind that you're going to need transportation, so you might have to rent a car, or you could take taxis. We've done that before. You can take cabs. That'll take you to the other parks. It's not a big deal. It's fun. So once again, like, that's just one of those things. It's going to depend on you, what you want to do. You know, sometimes when we go, we just want to do Disney. Disney is our favorite part. But you know, oftentimes in the past when we went, we would try to get a Universal and Islands of Adventure as well. And like I said, the other parks for us didn't really have a lot of interest, but you know, they might for you. It might be something cool. So you just gotta weigh how much time do you have and how much time are you willing to get away from doing Disney stuff. Okay, and then final thing is Disney World versus Disneyland. Now, I hear a lot of people comment on this who've never been to both parks. I have. I've been to both parks, and so has my husband. And we agree that, no one get mad at us, but our opinion, Disney World is definitely the one we like better. I don't want to say it is better, but there's just things that were done better there. Walt Disney himself said when he was building Disney World that he loved Disneyland, but that he wanted to make Disneyland right because he felt like it wasn't as good as he had hoped it would be. So even Walt Disney himself was like kind of had in his mind that Disney World was going to be more what he actually wanted. And so that being said, is Disneyland not worth it? Heck no, it is, you know, stinking Disneyland. It's awesome. So if you want to go to LA, Disneyland is so much fun. So do not get me wrong. The reason why we like Disney World better is because it is so much more of a complete vacation spot. Disneyland, you go there, you enter into Disneyland on this busy street, lots of you know, kind of weird looking hotels mixed in with some good ones and bright signs, and you don't feel Disney magic until you have to get inside of the park area to feel Disney magic. Disney World, it's like you turn off the freeway, you get onto Disney property, you're not even close to the parks yet, and it's already just pristine and beautiful and magical with Mickey Mouse signs and little, you know, billboards talking about all the fun you're gonna have, and you just feel the excitement builds way better. And then also Disney World is a lot bigger. There's a lot more going on there to do. A lot more hotels, a lot more activities, a lot more parks, a lot more rides. So that is why to me, Disneyland was so much fun and I had a blast. And I didn't go with children, it was just Kyle, and we just had a really great time and I really enjoyed myself. And I would never regret going there. And if you want to go to California and you want to do Disneyland, do it. It is worth it. But if I'm picking, we always go to Disney World, always. We just feel like you get more bang for your buck at Disney World. It's just a more complete vacation. You know, it actually is cheaper to go to Disney World to do more. And so, you know, that's what we prefer. That's kind of, you know, and I know there are people who are gung-ho Disneyland. They think it's the best. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just, to me, as far as a vacation, especially with children, I'm not interested in going to Disneyland. Before the kids, I definitely wanted to go. But with the children, I want the complete package. And they're even staying on their properties, on their hotels at Disneyland, which are really great and magical, and don't get me wrong. I still feel like the atmosphere is better at Disney World. It's just a more complete magical feeling. So there you go. So basically, bottom line is, if you put a gun to my head, I'm going to say Disney World every time. But I still think Disneyland is super fun. So just pick where you want to go, what kind of vacation you want. Like I said, it always comes down to that. And then, you know, you're going to be happy no matter which park you go to, because hello, Disney anything is really fun. Okay, you guys, so that is my kind of tips and advice and explanation from just a regular person like you who happens to have gone to Disney World about 1 billion times and is in love with it. So I hope some of that advice helped. If you have any questions or you want more specific answer, you know, or more specific knowledge or advice or anything, just ask me below and I will try my hardest to get back to you about it. And yeah, this is all stuff the first time I went to Disney World I was 7, my sister was 5, and we went, I've gone pretty much at least every other year most of my life since then, with a big break since before I had children, and we had to take a break from going, which made me sad. I always just said, like, I want it, to me Disney World represents like kind of the idea of someone who can let go and be a child and have fun and be silly and just really enjoy life. And you know, that if you let yourself enjoy kind of like the magic of a place like that, you know, it's just what a wonderful experience you'll have, you know. And so I used to always say I could never marry somebody who didn't love Disney World as much as me. And fortunately, I met my husband who does love it, and his family loves it, and it was a match made in heaven. So, all right, you guys. Any other questions, comments, anything like that about going to a place like Disney World, or how-tos, blah, 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 just ask me down below. I hope that helped a little. Bye, guys.
Thank you.